Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to English class. So in the last class, we discussed phrasal verb, phrases and idioms. I hope you remember that. And today in this class, we are going to discuss a few questions which are prescribed in your workbook. And before that, I have written a few questions on the board, and in the same pattern you will get questions related to phrasal verb, phrases and idioms in the examinations. And all these phrasal verb, phrases and idioms, as I said in the previous class, that are called as expressions, and it is very easy to answer. In the same, as I said, in the same pattern you will get questions, and you will also be given few or two or three options within the bracket, and you have to choose the appropriate expression. Okay, so it will be very easy to score. Let's discuss this. Look at the first question there. The kinglet of Monaco was dash of the criminal in the prison. Keeping him there was a huge loss to the state. So he decided to dash him by offering pension to him. So these lines are taken from your second chapter, second lesson, that is 2 dear. And here you have to choose the appropriate expression. Look at that. Within the bracket you are already given options. Very simple. And you have to choose the right one. And you will get 2-3 marks here for the expression. So the kinglet of Monaco was, which one would be appropriate for the first line? Get rid of, give up, sick and tired. So you are given 3 expressions here. So for the first one, which one would be the right one? The kinglet of Monaco was sick and tired of the criminal in the prison. Is that correct? Or the kinglet of Monaco was get rid of the criminal in the prison. Or the kinglet of Monaco was give up of the criminal in the prison. Which expression sounds better and suitable? The kinglet of Monaco was sick and tired of the criminal. So he now, he can't endure him. He can't tolerate him. So sick and tired would be the right expression for the first line. So the kinglet of Monaco was sick and tired of, that means fed up. Okay, sick and tired of the criminal in the prison. For the second line, keeping him there was a huge loss to the state. So he decided to, which one? We have already written the third one for the first line. So 2 are remaining here. 2 expressions are remaining here, that is get rid of and give up. Should I write get rid of or give up? Which one would be the appropriate here? So he decided to give up him. No, it wouldn't be appropriate. So the right expression for the second line, that is get rid of. That means you want to dismiss. You want to get out of that problem, get out of that headache. So that is why huge loss to the state. So he decided to get rid of him by offering pension to him. I hope you understood this. Let's go to the second one here. A lot of women in Pudukkottai were unable to wait for ladies' cycles. Therefore, they had to dash men's cycles. They knew that bicycles dash time wasted in waiting for buses. So what are the expressions given for this question? Again, there are 3 expressions within the bracket. Cut down on, put up with, go in for. So for the first sentence, let's read it again. First sentence, a lot of women in Pudukkottai were unable to wait for ladies' cycles. Therefore, they had to, which one? Should we write cut down on? No, cut down on is reduce or save, and put up with. We had discussed this in the last class. What do you mean by put up with? Tolerate or endure. Go in for. They showed interest. So which one would be better for the first line? Definitely the third one, go in for. So therefore they had to go in for means cycles. They knew that bicycles, which one? We cannot write put up with. Bicycles endure time. No, that wouldn't be the right expression. So cut down on. It sounds better and it sounds right. So they knew that bicycles cut down on time. So I hope you understood. For the first line we have to write bicycles and they had to go in for meant cycles. And for the second one, cut down on. Cycles cut down on time wasted in waiting for buses. That means it saved their time. Look at the third one here. Japanese stores employ bowing girls who stand dash escalators and whose only duty is to bow deeply and differentially to dash. So for this question again, you are given two options, two expression in the bracket. Choose the right one. Okay. For the first line, what would be the right expression? Japanese stores employ bowing girls who stand at the top of escalators. It is very easy to understand. So they'll stand on the top of the or at the top of the escalators and whose only duty is to bow deeply and differentially to all and sundry. So the meaning of all and sundry is to all, each and every one, or each and every one. Each and every one. So these are the questions which can be appeared in the examinations. So now we'll get into our workbook. Let's discuss the questions which are there in the workbook. So I'll write down the expressions which are given in the brackets. So in your workbook, in the page number 16, there are a few questions. Fill in the blanks using the appropriate form of the expressions given below. So there are a few questions at the same time. There are a few expressions which are given within the bracket and you have to choose the right one. So I'll read one by one the expressions which are given in the workbook. Give off. We had already discussed this. Give off in the previous class. What do you mean by give off? Remember it. Give off is to emit. Right. And the next one, get through. What do you mean by get through? Get through. Pass. And the next one, go into. What do you mean by go into? Get involved in something. Get involved in something. And then look into. What do you mean by look into? Examine. Examine. And then go off. Explode. Explode. And then come down. All these expressions were discussed in the previous class too. Come down, decrease, decrease. And then you have keep up. What do you mean by keep up? Keep up the good effort. Keep up, maintain. keep up is to maintain. And then you have come off. Come off. There are two meanings for this particular phrasal verb, that is to succeed and detached. To separate, detached. And then you have make up. What do you mean by make up? Resolve. Sort out, resolve, compensate. And then we have run into. Run into, face or encounter. Meet, face or encounter or confront. So give up. Most often used phrasal verb, give up, quit, and then take down. Take down also, remove or write down something. Take down the notes, something like that, take down. And then put out, extinguish, or stop something from burning. And we have put off, delay or cancel. Delay or cancel. And then you have come up. Come up, that is to emerge. Come up is to emerge. And then you have set up. What do you mean by set up? Set up is to start. Set up is to start something new. And then the last one is turn up. Turn up is to appear or meet someone suddenly or by chance. Now I have written the meanings of all the phrasal verbs which are given within the brackets in the page number 16. So now below that there are so I'll read them. Okay, I'll read them twice and you have to choose the appropriate phrasal verbs for that. Okay, shall we start then? Yes, look at the first question there. Don't lose hopes dash your spirit. So which expression would be the appropriate one for that sentence? Question. Listen to me again. Don't lose hopes dash your spirit. So it would be keep up your spirit. So don't lose hopes, keep up your spirit. Okay, I hope you understood. The next question, second question, two friends dash their difference after a brief quarrel. Two friends dash their difference after a brief quarrel. Which one would be the better one for that? Give off, get through, go into, look into, go off, come down. There are so many. So which one would be the better one? The two friends make up. It is given here make up, but here the sentence is in the past tense. I told you in the previous class, the phrasal verbs get changed according to the tenses. So here this sentence clearly indicates us that is in the past tense, and that is why we cannot write make up. So it has to be made up. So make is present and past tense of make is made. This is V1 and this is V2. So it would be two friends made up. They resolved their difference after a brief quarrel. Okay, what we call patch up. Okay. So the third question. He has dash his examination. Remember, what would be the right expression here? He has got through his examination. He passed his examination. He has got through. Here in the bracket it is given get through. But I have written got through. Why? Because that is in the present perfect tense. If you find has or have form there, then the verb must be V3. Okay, so it becomes he has got through. You cannot write get through. Even if it is in the past tense, you have to write got. Right, this is V3, and there is one more expression that is gotten. But usually nowadays people use got. So that is why he has got through his examination. And the fourth question, the long lost friend dash at my sister's wedding. What does it mean? The long lost friend turned up at my sister's wedding. What do you mean by turn up? Meet by chance or suddenly. So his old friend, he turned up in his sister's wedding. He appeared, or he came, or he attended his sister's wedding. So he saw him there. So the long lost friend turned up, appeared suddenly at my sister's wedding. Turned up. Again, you cannot write turn up. Why? Because the sentence is in the past tense. So turn becomes turned. Okay, N-E-D, turned. So he turned up in my sister's wedding. And the fifth question, the businessman dash debt after suffering heavy losses. What does that mean? The businessman dash debt after suffering heavy losses. Debt is loan, right? So after suffering from a great loss, then he took the help of bank in that meaning. So it becomes the businessman ran into debt. So he decided to take loan. So that is how we say it, ran into. So the businessman ran into debt after suffering heavy losses. Sixth question, the price of gold has come down. The same sentence we discussed in the previous class too. So come down, that is to decrease. So the price of gold has come down. Here you cannot again make it came. Why has? Has always takes V3. Okay, so come, came and come. V1, V2 and V3. Right, has takes V3, that is come. So the price of gold has come down. Seventh question, he has dash smoking. What should you write? What you have to write? So give up. Give up is the right expression, but again you have to make a certain change there. So that give becomes there, given up. Why? There is has. Has always takes V3. So give, gave and given. V1, V2 and V3. So has given up. So he has given up smoking. Eighth question, the firefighters came just in time to dash fire. Extinguish. Which one? Go off, not go off, and then put off. Which one? Which one you have to write? Extinguish. Put out. Stop something from burning. So put out would be the right expression here. The firefighters came just in time to put out fire or extinguish fire. And the next one, ninth question, the examinations had to be put off owing to the general elections. I told you the answer. So the examination had to be delayed. Okay, so what is the meaning for a phrasal verb for the delay? That is put off. Right, so here the examinations had to be put off owing. What do you mean by owing? Because of. So put off owing to the general elections. That has been delayed. 10th question, they dash a new business. They started a new business. What is the phrasal verb that can replace start? Set up. So they set up a new business. They set up a new business. 11th question, a committee has been set up to dash the problem. To resolve the problem or to deal the case. Which one would be the right one here? That is examine. Look into. Okay. So a committee has been set up to look into the problem. Look into the problem. 12th one, the last one, the bomb. Dash in a crowded street. Explode. The bomb exploded. So what is the phrasal verb? What's the right phrasal verb for that? Explode. Which one? Went off. And the present form is go off. But here it is went off because the sentence is in the past tense. The bomb went off in a crowded street. It exploded in the crowded street. I hope you understood the phrasal verbs. So these are the questions which are given in your workbook. And now we'll go to the page number 17, which discusses idioms and phrases. I would like to read a few idioms which are given there. Examples. Fish out of water. That is an idiom. What does it mean? She felt like a fish out of water in a sophisticated company. The meaning is given there. She felt uncomfortable. So when you feel uncomfortable, you can use this idiom, this expression, that is, I'm feeling fish out of water. I felt like a fish out of water. I feel like a fish out of water. So the meaning of that idiom is feeling uncomfortable. And the next one, look at the next example there. Abhi passed the exam with flying colors. What do you mean by flying colors? Right, that is with high grade, with good marks. Okay, Abhi passed the exam with very high grades. With good marks, he got through. He passed the exam. And the third one, Pooja was on cloud 9. We discussed this in the previous class. Cloud 9. What do you mean by cloud 9? Being very happy, in a state of elation or bliss. So Pooja was on cloud 9 when she was promoted. So Pooja was very happy when she was promoted. And the last example, Sarah is the apple of her father's eye. What do you mean by that? Apple of someone's eye. Sarah is loved by her father more than any other person. So apple of her father's eye is dearest to someone. Okay, so these are the examples which are given in the page number 17. And if you look at page number 18, again there are lots of idioms with its meaning. So you have to remember all these meanings and idioms and its meanings. I am going to read them. So the first one, idiom, to keep one's shirt on. What do you mean by keep one's shirt on? If you cannot take its literal meaning. That means it is very difficult to control one's temper. Okay, when, for example, if somebody is arguing with you, or we cannot, we get provoked by them. We can't control our anger. So there you can use this, idiom. So that is to keep one's shirt on, which means it is given there itself to control one's temper. Okay. So the next one, to be under one's thumb. What does it mean? Being under one's thumb. That means someone is controlling you. You are being under the control of someone. So to be under someone's complete control, that is the meaning of second idiom. And the third one, to have a swollen head. What do you mean by that, swollen head? When when you are praised, when you are boasted by someone, you just float in the air. So to admire oneself greatly, you admire yourself. I love myself. That is in a positive way. But when you boast, when you are too proud of yourself, and when you ignore others, then it becomes a swollen head. Okay. So to have a swollen head, which means to admire oneself greatly. And the next one, to blow one's own trumpet. We discussed that yesterday. To praise oneself in front of others. To be hand in glue with. To be hand in glue with. That is to engage in some bad things. The meaning which is given here, to engage in wrongdoing. To be in a soup. To be in a soup. That means to be in a problem, trouble, or in a danger. To be in a soup. And the next one, to know A to Z of something. That means if a person knows about something A to Z, that means he knows about each and everything about that. So A to Z of, to know everything about a subject or about a particular thing. And then to go on a wild goose chase. That means a futile, following or chasing a futile work, or you are spending your energy, time in a useless thing. So the meaning here, the meaning for this one given here, to be a part of a vague activity, very useless activity. And then to leave no stone unturned. That means you try in each and every step. You don't miss any step to do something. So that is to say, to leave no stone unturned. So these are the idioms and meanings which are given in the page number 18. And below that, there are a few questions. And here you have to choose the right idioms which are given there. So shall we start this? I'll read this. The first question. It is difficult to dash when Ravi keeps arguing. Try to understand. It is difficult to dash when Ravi keeps arguing. So which one would be the right expression here or idiom here? It is difficult to keep one's shirt on when Ravi keeps arguing. When Ravi keeps arguing, it is very difficult to control one's temper. Understood now? So it is difficult to keep one's shirt on. Difficult to control one's temper when he keeps arguing. So the second question, all this praise about her intelligence has given Usha such a dash that she cannot talk to anyone without showing off. Show off. Right. So I repeat, all this praise about her intelligence has given such a, which head? Swollen head. Her head is swollen. Why? Because everybody is praising her intelligence. So, for the second question, the idiom, the right idiom for the second question, that is swollen head. All this praise about her intelligence has given Usha such a swollen head that she cannot talk to anyone without showing off. Third question, you must take Abel's advice. He knows dash of the share market. He knows everything about the share market. So which is the right idiom here? If somebody knows everything about a particular subject or a particular field, then we can say that which one would be the right expression or which one would be the right idiom? A to Z. So you must take Abel's advice. He knows A to Z. of the share market. He knows each and everything about the share market. So the next one, don't believe this man. Somebody is advising you. Don't believe this man. Why? Because he is dash with the thief. He is dash with the thief. Which is the right idiom for that? Don't believe this man. He is hand in glove with the thief. Hand in glove. What do you mean by hand in glove? That means he is working with someone who is working in a wrong way. You can also use this sentence as he is working in hand with a glue, or he is working in hand glue with. So here you must, don't believe this man. He is hand in glue with the thief. He is hand in glue with the thief. And the fifth question, I had warned them that there was no use in working on the project because it was a dash, futile, useless. Then what you have to say? What is the right idiom for that? A wild goose chase. It is just futile, waste of time, useless activity. I had warned them that there was no use in working on the project. It was a wild goose chase. Sixth one, the parents dash to enable their disabled child to get good education. They tried everything to give good education to their disabled child. So what is the right idiom here? The parents left no stone unturned. Again, remember, this is in the past tense, and that is why we cannot write leave, but you have to make it left. Leave is present, left is past. So the parents left no stone unturned to enable their disabled child to get good education. Seventh question, it is difficult to listen to Don Gonzalo. It is difficult to listen to Don Gonzalo. He dash as soon as he opens his mouth. What he does? As soon as he opens his mouth, he starts boasting himself. So it becomes, it is difficult to listen to Don Gonzalo. He blows his own trumpet. He blows his own trumpet. So the next question, that means he starts praising himself. Next question, if you break rules, you'll land yourself dash. What happens if you break rules? You have to face punishment. So what you have to say? If you break rules, you'll land yourself in a soup. In a soup, you'll land yourself in a problem. You have to face certain kinds of problems or punishment if you break rules. If you break rules, you'll land yourself in a soup. So these are idioms, idiomatic expressions. So I hope I made my points clear. And now let's discuss the last exercise, which is there in the page number 19. So here you have to mash the followings. Okay. So idioms and phrases, mash the idioms and phrases in section A with the meanings in section B. Look at the first one. To look something up. Okay, to look something up. So the right word would be to search for information. To look something up, which means to search for information. And the next one, to look up to. We discussed that yesterday in the previous class. To admire or to show respect. The boy always looked up to his father. So look up to admire. Third one, to look down at. To look down at someone. What does that mean? Treating someone very badly. Or to look at with scorn. Remember, for the third expression. The meaning is to look at with scorn. Scorn is C-S-C-O-R-N, scorn, which means hatredness. So to look down at, which means to look at with scorn. To let off. What do you mean by to let off? To be allowed to go free. To be allowed to go free. Let them off. Let them go. So the next one, to hold up. Fifth one, to hold up. What is the meaning of hold up? To hold up, to stop others from going ahead. Something is holding me back. We often say that, right? So which means to stop others from going ahead, preventing someone from going ahead. So to hold up. And the sixth one, to knock down. To knock down. What does that mean? To break up. Knock down, break up. And the next one, to look forward to. To look forward to. That is to await eagerly. That is waiting for. Waiting eagerly. To await eagerly. And then the eighth one, to put off someone. To put off someone, which means to affect. Which means to affect. Affect is to influence. Influence. And the next one, ninth one, to put up with. You know that. To put up with. Tolerate. Endure. Put up with is to tolerate or to endure. And the next one, 10th one, to see red. To see red, being very angry. So the meaning which is given here, to be very angry. To see red, which means to be very angry. And the 11th one, to be in full swing. To be going on with energy and proceeding with energy and interest. Okay? To be in full swing, to be going on. Progressive. In other words, you can say that progressive. And the next one, to get in one's way. To get in one's way, which means to obstruct others from work. Distracting someone or disturbing someone. To obstruct others from work. And the last one, to tell upon. To tell upon, which means to irritate. Which means to irritate. So, we have completed the exercises which are given in the page number 16th, 17th and 18th. So, these are important for your annual examinations, and remember, it is very easy to score mark in this part. As I told you, I have already given you in the very beginning of the class a few questions and paragraphs, and that will definitely help you. So let's look at some more paragraphs and then we'll call it a day. Look at these questions. Again, these questions can be appeared in the examination. Look at the first question there. The election campaign in Umofia was dash. All knew that the honorable minister would have a dash. So here you are given three expressions. Look at the first expression here, in full swing. As I said, proceeding or in a progress or working in energy or with much interest. And landslide victory, a complete victory, especially this is used in during the time of, when somebody wins the election. In that context, we use landslide victory. And then in a soup, you know that. What do you mean by in a soup? That is being in a problem. So here, the first question, the election campaign in Umofia was, so which one would be the right expression here? In full swing. So they were campaigning with much, in energy and with much interest. So the election campaign in Umuofia was in full swing, and all knew that the honorable minister would have a complete victory, that is a landslide victory. Remember, in full swing for the first sentence and landslide victory for the second sentence. The election campaign in Umuofia was in full swing. All knew that the honorable minister would have a landslide victory. Look at the second question. Roof was dash in the voting booth. He was torn between the loyalty to Marcus and the fear of EE. Then he dash of tearing the ballot paper into two and put each half into two boxes. The expressions which are given here: hit upon the idea, hard to put, then in a fix. So you know that hit upon an idea, then he came up with an idea, and then hard to put it. Again, that is a different thing, but here in a fix. Focused, being focused. So here these two expressions that is appropriate for this paragraph or for this sentence. So here look at the first one. Roof was in a fix. He was focused. He was thinking about something very deeply. So roof was in focus, that is roof was in a fix in the voting booth. He was torn between the loyalty to Marcus and the fear of EE. Then he hit upon the idea. An idea flashed or leaped into his mind. So here which is the right expression or idiom which suits for the second sentence, that is hit upon the idea. Then he hit upon the idea of tearing the ballot paper into two and put each half into two boxes. Look at the third question. The ministers decided to tell the criminal dash to turn away. There are two expressions here: straight out and turn their backs. Again, this is very simple. So the ministers decided to tell the criminal dash to turn away. They did so. But, it has to be run away. Run away, they did so. But the criminal said that if he ran away, the people would dash on him. So the first idiom, the ministers decided to tell the criminal, or expression, straight out. To run away. The minister decided to tell the criminal straight out to run away, straight out, directly. But the criminal said that if he ran away, then people would turn their backs on him. They will humiliate him, or they will, ignore him. So for the first sentence, straight out, and the second sentence, turn their backs. So these are all about phrasal verb, phrases and idioms. Thank you.